followed up and do not need removal. In a thick wall cyst that is enlarging in size, or a thick wall cyst that has got raised cancer marker, yes, surgery should be considered.
So for those with ovarian cyst, sometimes they go to different doctors with different opinions, so it's confusing to them.
That's why it's so important that the ultrasound images should be compared with one another. You know, it doesn't matter whether you're going to different gynecologists or not, but if you do, make sure they compare to see whether this thing is evolving with time. If it's something that gets bigger and smaller, no concern. If it's something that continues to get bigger and bigger, or the wall becomes thicker and thicker, of course these are of serious concern, and you must consider surgical removal to confirm that it is not cancerous.
Is there a certain size? Going to a certain size, you have to operate, even if it's a thin-walled cyst?
That is the odd part. There's no size. Some patients, in actual fact, can have very, very large thin wall cysts, and they have no concern, you know, because these are not cancerous. So size in itself is not an indication for surgery.
Is there no danger when you poke, or husband and wife?
No.
There's no danger it will...
No. Even if it ruptures, it's not of great concern. It generally does not rupture. The human body is quite amazing. It knows how to protect itself. So the ovarian cyst, in actual fact, is not a fixed structure. It can often move around. But of course, if indeed the cyst is large enough to be symptomatic, okay, such that sometimes patients complain, oh, I've got frequency of micturition because the cyst keeps blocking the area, the bladder can't fully distend, and therefore they go to the toilet okay, then you can have it removed. But generally, it is not an issue.
Dr. Ang, you have so much experience. Can you share how long you've been a doctor?
Okay. I actually started practicing, being interested in cancer in 1986. That's when I started my training. In Singapore initially, then subsequently the Singapore government sent me to MD Anderson Cancer Center, one of the top cancer centers in the US. And from there, you know, I moved on to Stanford University, where I trained under my mentor, Professor Saul Rosenberg. And then subsequently, I came back to Singapore. I eventually became the head of the Department of Oncology in Singapore General Hospital. And subsequently, I came back in the private sector. And now currently, I'm the medical director and senior consultant in Parkway Cancer Center.
So how come your treatment is sometimes different from other doctors? And I think from my experience, your success rate looks higher than others.
I think one of the important things is really the combination of knowledge and experience. You know, as a young doctor, when you're trained as a medical oncologist, very often